This guy is ready to go. I could paint him right now and he would come out looking fine. But this is for those folks who want to do just a little bit more to their pumpkin to bring out the face so that it's more than just a carved bit. We're going to be doing some enhancements, and the areas on any pumpkin that I love to enhance are the eyebrows, around the nose, and if I'm going to have this be a fearsome kind of pumpkin, a little bit of enhancement on the teeth can go a long way, as well as the corners of the mouth. So that's what I'm going to look at boosting on this guy before we paint him. At this point on the way through, we're at about 3 hours and 50 minutes. So this is with a little bit more work. How long does it take? If your pumpkin has sat idle for a while and it's been dried, you might find that your clay, while it can stick, might need a little assistive in sticking. And for doing that, I hit a little bit of smoothing paste and I go over any of the areas that I'm planning on adding clay to. That way I can guarantee that there's gonna be a really good adhesion between my clay and this surface, which might be quite dry after sitting out. And this guy has sat out for a couple of days to make sure he was completely dry. Now what we'll do is I'm going to start on the eyebrows. Just take a little bit of clay, roll it up into a bit of a snake, push it onto the eye, flatten the top edge so this blends down into it, and start making my extra structure. For here, I'm probably just going to push down so this is kind of enhanced and flat. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra stuff to the face in certain targeted areas. When I enhance the corners of the mouth, I kind of like to do 2 little wormy sections. Roll one with kind of a fine point. I roll the fine point off the back and just blend, again, the top edge down onto the pumpkin. Then I'll grab another little section, roll another little wormy. I've got a point edge, and I'm going to, again, put that towards the top. We'll take the rest, blend the outside, maybe not so much the middle. If you want to, and things are mushing in, you can take a butter knife and just flatten that down. On this one, I want to make sure that this tooth is kind of fully accented. There's a tooth right here. And this bottom edge is a little bit built up for my liking. So I'm just going to make sure there's more forward blending as well. The last thing I tend to do with these edge enhancements is find out where I put those pumpkin creases in. And then I just use the back edge of a paintbrush, end of a pencil, something. I'm going to put these creases right back in. And then I'm going to paint them down very similarly to how we did before. In fact, here's my pencil mimicking tool. Here's my smoothing paste. If I keep sweeping up here, then the 2 wormies are going to kind of blend together. And that is a mouth edge enhancement. Eyebrow enhancements, I kind of like to handle the same way. I want to make sure that those creases that I put in from before are still there. So I'm just following them right on down. Sure they're smoothed in, and then right along with the old smoothing paste. At any point, you can smooth down the top edges again. Down here, I've got a little bit of a lip. I'm just going to finger smooth it. Now I've got a little bit of eyebrow enhancement. I'm going to take a little look at the bottom edge here and make sure it also blends in. And bam, we have ourselves an extended eyebrow. The one thing I do find that people tend to do on these, which I consider a little bit problematic, I'll show you on this eyebrow. I'll rip this clay off real quick. So some folks will just leave that and it just kind of looks like the eye is stuck out. Whereas you can go for a full ridge, which gives a little bit more sinisterness to the pumpkin. But up to you. It's your pumpkin. If you want to go eyeline, do eyeline. If you want to go brow ridge, go brow ridge. Sometimes I'll see that same effect around the nose, where people will just leave a line around the nose. And I just believe you can do a little bit better if you just blend in the top, flatten the bottom, and you'll have something that treads upon the uncanny valley a tad bit more. And then, of course, we'll restore our grooves that we put in there. So there's another sculpted, enhanced brow. Okay, around the nose, I've just put a little basic stick-out enhancement. Smooth it down with some paste. This one, fortunately, doesn't really go over any of the major grooves, so I don't have to worry about it too terribly much. If you do have a line that goes through the nose, again, you'll want to probably continue your groove on there. Technically, I've got one right here, so just put that groove in a bit. And again, smoothing paste will bring that right out. If you want to do some toothy enhancements, I find it's really handy to kind of V-pinch and make the top section of your tooth. And now we've got kind of a tooth analog here. I'm going to take my tooth analog and just put it right on top of this one. Keep it along the same shape. Smooth it into the top. If I have any V grooves there, or grooves I should say, I'm just going to want to put those back in. And now that tooth is stuck out a little bit more. So have some fun. Throw just a little bit of 3D dimensionality in wherever you want. And your pumpkin will start to pop a little bit more than if its face was completely flat. I'm going to continue working on this guy for a little while. And we'll get to the end result. And then we'll get them all painted and finished up. And with just a couple of simple little additions there, we've got a face that is now a lot more dynamic than just a regular pumpkin face. Occurs to me I completely forgot to do my smoothing over here. But I'm sure you guys are getting the idea. You can do a lot more just by adding just a few ins and outs. Enhance the eyes, enhance the mouth, maybe the odd tooth. Give it some 3D depth so it's not just a flat face. And if you do that, your pumpkin will stand out just a hair more than the ones that are carved only. I'll finish this guy up and I'll see you at the painting stage.